Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Krokosz and I am in Dr. Maslow's Counseling Skills 1 course, Section 2, and this is my hello video. So I don't know about anybody else, but when I first heard about this assignment in class, I was a little nervous because as an introverted person, it can be kind of daunting to, the idea of having to talk to a camera for any amount of time, especially 5 minutes. Um, but it is exciting to, get to know everybody. So, definitely looking forward to seeing everyone else's videos. And, but yeah, so I guess I can kind of tell you about myself a little bit. I just moved here from Stevens Point, Wisconsin about a month ago. That's where I got my undergraduate degree from the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. My degree is in family and consumer sciences with a specialization in child, youth, and family studies. And that really is just a really long term fancy title for child development and family studies. A lot of my courses were in child development and different topics in family studies. And so yeah, that's where I got my degree. So I lived in Stevens Point for my undergraduate, and then growing up, I lived in Illinois. I grew up near Naperville, Illinois, until the time I was 11, and then I went into middle school in Wisconsin. I lived in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. You probably never heard of it. I don't even think it's a town. I think it's still a village. It's so small. So I stayed there for about 3 years through middle school, and then I moved back to Illinois for 1 year, for my freshman year of high school, where I lived in Naperville. And then for the rest of high school and then for college, I was back in Wisconsin. And now I'm here. And it's definitely been a really big change. Florida is definitely worlds different than the Midwest. Definitely the weather, of course, is one of the biggest changes, but also I have learned driving is a lot different here. I never realized that cars in Florida didn't have turning signals. Because that's what you would think if you were a Midwesterner coming here and trying to drive on the highway, because nobody uses their turning signals, I have learned. But that's just kind of, I guess, the quirk of the culture down here. And I've also noticed there's kind of a difference in I don't know if it's slang or just language. But I remember one of my first days at work, I asked where the bubbler was. Now I know there's somebody else from Wisconsin in our class, so maybe he knows what a bubbler is, because everyone else looked at me blankly like, what's a bubbler? Because that's where you get water. When you want to drink water, they're like, oh, you want to know where the water fountain is? I'm like, water fountain. Because for me, a water fountain is the thing you see in the park that spits up all the water, not because a bubbler is a bubbler for me. So that's been kind of different. And also I've noticed people down here say soda and I say pop. So those are kind of just the fun differences, I guess. Yeah, let's see. My God, it's only 3 minutes. So I got 2 minutes to go. Okay. Let's see. So I decided to pursue a master's degree in counseling, specifically school counseling, because growing up, I knew I really wanted to work with kids as a future career, and a lot of my family have been teachers, and so that was just kind of my line of thinking. My grandma was a teacher. A bunch of my aunts were teachers. My mom taught for a little bit in the college level. And so that just seemed really natural to me. And so I went to college right away. I knew what I wanted to major in, elementary education. And then 2 years into it, I realized it wasn't the right fit for me. And that's when I switched to child, youth, and family studies, because it had the most relatable coursework that was relatable to what I thought I wanted to do, because wanted to work with children. And so I did that, and that's when I kind of heard about counseling as a field, and school counseling specifically. And that's why I'm here, and I'm really excited, and thank goodness it's 5 minutes. Yay! Thanks, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and see you in class.